Welcome to this EasyKabbalah.com presentation of the Kabbalah and the Tarot. I just want to remind you real quick, we have a limited time free offer, a 30-minute video presentation along with an ebook download and MP3 audiobook called Secrets to Ultimate Prosperity and Happiness. And to claim your copy, just visit EasyKabbalah.com/offer. The Tarot and the Kabbalah. What most Kabbalists won't teach you and what they don't know is that tarot cards are based on the Kabbalah and that tarot card readings are rooted in Kabbalistic teachings, or at least they should be. So knowledge of the tarot will enrich your understanding of the 10 Sephirot and the 22 pathways that connect them. So we prefer the Thoth Crowley Tarot deck by US Game Systems. It's very, very good, and its richness in artwork and symbolism will help you develop your understanding of how multiple disciplines like tarot, astrology, and numerology tie into the Kabbalah Tree of Life. There's another one out there, I think it's called actually just the Kabbalah Tarot, that's very, very good, and it actually shows the pathways on each card, so that's another good one. But a standard 78 card tarot deck should look like this. You have the 4 elemental suites, wands, swords, cups, and discs, and then the trumps or major arcana. So really quick, you have the ace card, then the number cards 2 through 10, the ace taking the place of a 1 card, and then a queen, a knight, a prince, and a princess. And we have this all the way through each of these suites, so an ace of wands, an ace of swords, an ace of cups, an ace of discs, and so on, all the way through. And then the trump cards, really quick, the Fool, the Magus, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Tower, the Lust card, the Hermit card, Fortune, the Aeon, the Hanged Man, Art, the Hierophant, the Chariot, the Lovers, Adjustment, the Universe, Death, the Devil, the Star, the Moon, and the Sun. Now, as long as you're using a 78 card deck, you should be able to find what the equivalents are. Sometimes these have slightly different names, but anyway, this is how it's laid out in the deck by US Game Systems. Okay, the number cards in the elemental suites: wands, swords, cups, and discs. The 4 Kabbalistic elements, remember those? We discussed those in the Fourfold Name of God presentation. If you haven't already seen that, you might want to go back and go to our channel and watch it. And these 4 elements correspond with the 4 parts of the soul and the 4 Kabbalistic worlds. So, wands represent fire. That's the part of the soul is the Chaya, the life force. Swords represent the element air, which is the Ruach, right? Our intellect, our thinking mind. Cups represent water. That's the Neshama, or our soul intuition, the psychic intuitive body. And discs represent earth, the Nefesh, the animal soul. That would be like the reptilian survival brain, and also the physical body, muscle, bone, ligament, everything that makes up our physical body. Each of the Kabbalistic elements is represented by 10 cards corresponding with the 10 Sephiroth. So the 2 of wands would be placed on Sephirah number 2, the 3 of wands number 3, and so on. The same is true for swords, cups, and discs. This will make a little more sense on the next graphic. Aces represent Kether, that's Sephirah number 1. So 2s represent Sephirah 2, 3s represent Sephirah 3, and so on. Therefore, the Sephiroth have 40 number cards, 4 sets of aces through 10s. So 4 sets of 10 for wands, swords, cups, and discs, for the number cards only. Aspects of the 4 other elements plus spirit. So aces are spirit. Now remember, we have the number cards, but we also have knights, queens, princes, and princesses. So aces represent the element spirit, knights represent fire, queens represent water, princes represent air, and princesses represent earth. So this gets a little confusing because in Kabbalah, Kabbalah tells us that everything that you look at contains the pattern of everything else. There are no pure separations. So we said before, the wand cards represent fire, but you have an ace of wands, which is the spirit aspect of fire, the Knight of Wands, which is fire of fire. So knights represent fire and wands represent fire. But you have a Queen of Wands, which is the watery aspect of fire. A Prince of Wands, which is air of fire. And a Princess of Wands, which is earth of fire. Are you confused yet? I remember this was confusing when I first started getting into it. But it does start to make sense as you look at these other cards. So the Cups cards represent water. In its purest sense, the element of water. But you have an Ace of Cups, spirit of water, Knight of Cups, fire of water, Queen of Cups, water of water, so that would be its purest form, Prince of Cups, air of water, and Princess of Cups, earth of water, and so on for swords and discs. So you get the idea. Each root element contains within it an aspect of each of the other elements. Everything is interconnected. So here's a nice graphical example. We've blown up the very, very first part of the tree, the Trinity. Okay, and here's a close-up. The four aces, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Discs are attributed to Kether, the elemental spirit, Sephira number 1. Similarly, the Two of Wands, you see here on the right, the Two of Swords, Two of Discs, all of those, all four, correspond to Sephira number 2, Chokhmah. Okay? And similarly, the threes find their home on Binah, Three of Wands, Three of Cups, Three of Swords, and Three of Discs. So you have a whole tree, okay? One for wands, like a fire tree, a water tree, a air tree, and an earth tree. One for wands, one for swords, one for cups, one for discs. And there you have it. There's the whole thing. So each Kabbalistic element can be represented by each Sephira. Each Sephira has 4 number cards associated with it. Wands, swords, cups, and discs. And you can have a whole tree attributed to each element. So by learning the tarot, you'll understand a depth and understanding about the Kabbalah tree of life that 99% of the so-called masters will not teach you. I don't know why, but I think this is very important. Others don't see it as important, but I think it's extremely important to get the full depth and range of understanding here. So in addition to the numbers, ace, which is number 1 through 10, we said before we have queens, knights, princes, and princesses. These are the court cards of each suit. And queens, we also attribute to Binah, number 3, knights to Chokhmah, fire, princes to Tippereth, right here, air. Okay, princes represent air, and princesses are attributed to Malkuth and earth down here. So we also have, you'll see this diagram, we have the number cards where they're meant to be, and we also attribute these court cards, queens here on Binah, knights on Chokhmah, princes on Tippereth, number 6, and princesses down here in earth, Malkuth. Remember we said Malkuth was earth, so we have our earth here, air, and this makes sense because Tippereth is right smack dab in the middle of these Sephirot that control the Ruach, or the rational mind. So we have, that's air. So we have our Ruach commanded by air, and then here we have the supernal elements. We have water meeting with fire here in Binah and Chokhmah. So let's look at the 22 trump cards, and these correspond with the 22 pathways. So these are the lines that connect the Sephiroth. So remember that there are the 22 trump cards, also called the major arcana. And if you look at your tarot deck, you can lay these out on like a printout of the tree. And these are special cards that describe the complex relationships between the Sephirot. So look at this diagram. The pathways are numbered 11 through 32. Why is that? Because the pathways 1 through 10 are already taken up. They are the Sephiroth, 1 through 10. So you already know quite a bit about those. There are the 22 pathways, and Oh my gosh, there are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. So the original biblical Hebrew found in the Torah is rich in symbolism, mystery, and meaning. The study of the Holy Kabbalah will help you understand the richness and depth of these sacred letters and how to apply that understanding to your daily life. That's what Kabbalah is all about. So the pathways describe the relationships between the 10 Sephiroth, and as we are to ascend our consciousness up the tree of life and unite with our holy guardian angel here at Tiphereth and ultimately to Godhead, the pathways describe how we can achieve union with each Sephirah as we make our journey on the way up. So each of the 22 trump cards in a traditional tarot card deck is represented by one of the 22 pathways. And understanding what each of the trump cards mean, as we said, will help you when doing tarot card readings for others, because you can lay them out on the tree and see the various forces at work and what is influencing each card. So, if I'm not overwhelming you yet, our study of the Holy Kabbalah is becoming more complex and difficult. So the way to study the 22 pathways is to learn one pathway at a time. And at the Academy, we have organized lessons for each of these. So you can do just that at easykabbalahacademy.com, which is coming online shortly. And before you know it, you'll have these recognized. I'll also throw a free worksheet up on easykabbalah.com for you to download and get started, at least to take a look at these. But you'll see the 22 Hebrew letters and how they correspond with each pathway here on the tree. Now let's place the trump cards on each pathway, and you will see them here. So you already know quite a bit about the Sephiroth, and a understanding of the number cards and the trump cards will deepen your awareness of the Kabbalah and how to better apply Kabbalah to your daily life. So in the Academy, we have a worksheet where you memorize where each of these go and the significance of the placement for each of the trump cards. So for more information on this, visit easykabbalah.com. And to claim your free course again, visit easykabbalah.com/offer. This has been just a brief overview for how the tarot cards are placed on the tree, and we'll post some more videos on exactly what the cards mean and how to use them when doing